All right, let's see if we got a signal from the back cave. And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Scoot Gamers Jedi Academy with your boy Ranger J 1999. Welcome you guys into another Saturday morning. Hope you guys, wherever, well, it could be, it's morning here in the U.S., but it could be afternoon over in Europe, or it could be in the Far East, Australia. It could be middle of the night. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody. Welcome to the show. I'll mainly be saying good morning because it's morning here. So glad to have you guys here to the Jedi Academy, the show where we do nothing but do Q&A for 2 hours straight. That's right. We're here to do nothing but Q&A. And if you have a question that you want to have answered, all you got to do is put your question into the chat. The way you do that is you put the word question in front of your actual question, statement, or comment. Put those in there, and hey, we'll get them scooped up and try to get them all responded to and give you the best answer we can. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment, blah, blah, blah. But other than that, just come on in here, say hi, and let's get this party started. I got my coffee. Trying to figure out how my opponent... I did lose JC last night, and again, there's Tila Mad in the chat. He had fun with Happy Hour yesterday. We had a lot of fun yesterday. Me, Wolf, Tilo, Clayton was in there having fun doing JC. We did lose, but I was trying to figure out how he did this. He did... unless I just... my brain's not working correctly this morning, so... He one-shot one fleet, he one-shot the other fleet, and then he did 4 shots on my executor. Huh? What? I'm trying to figure out how that works, because I'm like, okay, well, so what did he use? He used 2 fleets. Had to use 2 capital ships. How did he do the other fights without a capital ship? Or do you not have to have a capital ship? I guess you could just send in 1 ship and just get your ass burned down. So, I mean, I guess that's a thing. So, well done, Lottie. Well done indeed. Yeah, lots of burners with 1 ship. So I figured that might be what it is. Because I was looking at that like, damn, how many attempts you take, brother? 3 to clear it. Yeah, it could be. Just send in 1 ship, get your ass stomped, and then call it a day. Yeah. That makes sense. As I said, my brain's not working, so I'm just like, when I'm sitting there going, hey, how did you do that? Well, no, there was 4 attempts there, Telemad. So
yeah, so they're probably right. You have mace, and I forget what the 4th is. There's 2 that usually you don't have to use, but people don't have very high. So you can send them on suicide missions. I've done it once.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just trying to think, do you need a capital ship to do...
you do.
Well, then how did he do 4 attempts?
Well, so you set 3, right, on defense. You have 4 left over that are going to be your main attackers. And then you have mace. You have mace for sure.
This is on 1 fleet. This is 4 attempts on executor.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to...
Now the other 2 he took out as well. So that's 6 attempts.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to use a capital
There's 5
ship.
for sure. Am I missing one?
There's 7 fleets total. Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
No, there's definitely 8, but I don't know if there's a 9th. That's a good question.
Look,
because I never use mace,
1,
and I have
2,
mace
3,
on the bench.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Okay, there's 9. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so there's 9 fleets. Okay, that makes sense. I was trying to do the math. I was thinking there was 8 ships. That's why I was doing my math was wrong. So it puts 3 on defense, and that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4,
5 or 6.
Yeah, 6. Okay, there you go. That's how he's able to do it. Okay, perfect. I was like, am I math off on this, folks? See, this is what happens when I don't have coffee in the morning. See, we're solving math problems. Rangers doing JC at night and has 6 capital ships. He has 3 fleets he has to face on defense. How many attempts can he do on...
No, because you always forget about mace, and I don't use executrix either anymore because I I haven't started on the sea
Well, I know what
train yet.
I know what I was doing. I was thinking, well, there's one Empire fleet. But there's actually you have two Empire capital ships. See,
Correct.
there's
Yes.
yeah. So I was like, so I know what else? Any three? My brain doesn't work. There's 9 fleets, partridge in a pear tree. So there you go. I was like, damn. My brain's just not working today. So that's not a good sign for any of you guys for questions, Q&A and stuff. So there you go. So get your questions in. Quiet week on the home front for 3. That's right, 3 Empire capital ships. Because I guess I always think executives like bounty hunters.
It
It is
runs.
way too early in the morning for this shit. Okay.
Nobody runs.
You're not running Empire with them. I mean,
Yeah.
The 3 Empire ships, 2 GR, a Resistance, boy, and a partridge in a pear tree. All right. So get your questions in. I'm going to start caffeinating myself.
Rebel, Separatist, and
Hux. Nobody gives a
whatever
shit.
You want to call it.
All right, we don't care anymore. Less mathy. Slow week in SWGOH, but it's fine because last week we had the giant State of the Galaxy. So yeah, just a slow week this week. We're just gonna probably just hang out, answer any questions you guys have, and you guys can ask any question about the game that you need. That's what we're here for. As more content creators come on, we'll see how many we get. But that's it. We're just here to answer your questions. So get your questions in, get your greetings in, and then grab something to drink or eat or anything like that, and we're gonna rock and roll. Anything else? No, I think we're good. Again, thanks everybody for Thursday night helping Crumb. I didn't get to see a lot of the Crumb stream last night. I was really tired. I think I put the thing on the phone and listened to it on Twitch, and then I actually, by the time we got there, they were well into the conversations, and then I felt just pass out. I was exhausted, so I'll have to go back and listen to it. But Crumb was on Heinz's stream last night, and then Thursday we were all helping Crumb. Big shout out to everybody that came out and helped raise over $4,000 in one day for Crumb. All you guys, mad Chad lads. So really good job. 4,200 I think is what he raised. Ridiculous numbers. That's why you guys are the best community ever. You guys give and you don't even ask questions. You just like, hey, kids need help, let's give. It's just the way you guys are. So you guys have big hearts. So get your questions in. Anything else? I'm just trying to think, like, there's nothing really going on. We're kind of we're in farm phase right now. I think we all are for something in regards to the big news. Or you're working on what you're working on, but I'm working religiously for profundity, and then we'll worry about Jabba Nobata.
That's the correct way to do it too.
I'm sure to. Well, yeah, I mean, Jabba. I mean, that's well out of my purview right now. I mean, and it makes sense to go for profundity because I already got the characters other than Raditz, which I'll have Raditz at 7 stars here in a couple days. It just makes sense to get Raditz. I'll hit him up and then get the profundity because Jabba's going to have 2 more marquees. And just on top of Chrysanthemum, the other 2 marquees, and plus the relics and everything else, Jabba will be down the pipe a little bit. I'm not going for Jabba first. I mean, if you're going for Jabba first, God bless you. Salute to you.
Cash money, baby.
Straight up, homie. So, I mean, if you are going to go for him, perfect. I just think going for profundities, and it's going to be here sooner, so I might as well get everything up and running for that. And then don't worry about job afterwards. Do
you want me to talk about the Heinz stream a little bit? I just finished listening to the end of it.
No, listen, people haven't listened to it and stuff. I mean, if people want to ask questions about it, man, then you can answer a response to that. I mean, general overall, I'm sure he just answered questions that he could. I'm sure people are either happy or not happy about the answers he gave. They always are. So, I mean, I don't know. Was there anything big, one thing or 2 things that were huge? Was there any bombs dropped in the stream last night? Anything at all?
If you're going for Jabba, yeah, because the man is coming to the game. If you get my hint.
What man?
Crumb apparently is coming into the game.
Oh, well, the wonderful Salacious B. Crumb. Oh, well.
That's what he hinted at. So we'll see. It would be cool. That was the only real piece of information. Unfortunately, it really sounded like he still isn't fully caught up, and I understand. like new baby, everything going on. He probably had a zillion emails he's still going through. So it was almost too early to have him on with some of the questions that were asked, but that was the mic drop. So we'll see if that really does happen.
That'd be kind of cool. Have the wonderful Slitches be Crumb in there. Well, all right, Pop. We'll nickname him Papa Crumb after our good friend Crumb. Crumb, I have never prayed to you before. I have no tongue for it. What else? 3 says, yeah, you can expect to see him. Well, my. Andrew Zonny says, hey, Ranger, I got Phase 4 done with Gear 12 droids and XSB1. Finally done with that damn event. Congratulations. Gas is definitely yours, my friend. Nice. Yeah,
nice.
It's still one of the most ridiculous events I've ever done. Just
Pain
wow.
Train is all I can say.
Yeah, the other
I've done
events,
2 accounts.
Yeah, the other ones can have their pain points, and they can be really frustrating. I mean, hell, I just did the Inquisitor one here recently, and that was just ridiculous. But the gas event is the cherry on top, man. That thing is unbelievable.
That Phase 4, oh my god.
CG Heart goes out to you, says Dark Trucker. It was a cookie cutter Q&A we have all heard before. All right. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not wrong. There's 2 questions I wish they would have asked that didn't get asked directly, but you know.
They didn't ask about gear or anything like that, or ship loadouts or anything like that.
Yeah, ship loadouts were he says what he always says. I always send him up the chain.
Yeah, I do know Crumb does that. I mean, you guys, everything you send to him, he
does
religiously sending that up. I mean, I know how Crumb operates, and we've had him interviewed before. So yeah, he listens to your guys' feedback, and he does push that up for you guys. So
the only interesting gear answer he had is that it seems he wants to go back and finish Phase 1, whatever was met. I've listened to stuff, and I don't know exactly what that entails, but it seems.
Oh, well, I do.
He seems he wants to circle back and finish at least Phase 1. Didn't say anything about Phase 2 or going forward, and I guess that's where I wish they would have followed up the question and say, well, what about Relic 9? Because right now, it's a stone wall to get there. Like.
Okay.
I don't have any access to this new stuff because of the Relic 9 stuff. I don't even have
a lot of people don't. Now the Phase 1 stuff that was, so the first part of Phase 1 was what we got, right? The update to the daily challenges, all that kind of stuff, right? The other part was that they were supposed to change the shard shop to have specific pieces in there all the time, so you can use your shard shop currency on those specific items, certain pieces of gear and things of that nature. There's a post that outlined all what the plan was for Phase 1, and then we were supposed to get to Phase 2 and then to Phase 3 and all that kind of stuff. So
well,
if they want to finish that up, that'd be nice, but I mean,
that didn't sound likely, but whatever needed to finish was Phase 1. It seems that is definitely on his
radar
list, so that may get done sometime. Everything is TBD, but he definitely knows about gear, and so I think that will get done. Going forward, I don't know. His mind is completely on Datacrons right now, and I'm sure him being off when they got dropped and everything, he's probably catching up with it. So, a lot of it was around that. And I'm sure I don't blame this on him at all. He's.
Oh, I never do.
He's probably getting the data. So
Doja,
he doesn't honestly know yet.
Yeah, Crumb, Meathead. I mean, they're just the messengers. Like they're the go-betweens. They answer what they can, but I mean, really, they're just the people that tell you what they can tell you. So, and if a decision's made, I mean, you got to go up the food chain quite a ways and then be mad at those folks if you don't like Datacron stuff like that. It ain't nothing to do with Crumb. So, and I think people misunderstand that sometimes. Yeah, he represents the company, but you have
I
to
think
put
it was more in the context of our the abilities and the amount of the stuff going to be this crazy, or is it going to be scaled back, and he doesn't honestly know yet. No one, I don't even think they know. They're
It's still early
looking at
days.
they're looking at the data, and rightfully or wrong, the third set, which
Yeah, they
he
didn't even drop the
pointed
third set.
out,
Yeah.
it hasn't dropped, and they don't have the data on it. So you know, in their minds, even if they know the first one was way too overtuned, or the GLs are overtuned, they're not going to say it because they're going to wait till that period when the third one drops between the next new set. I know it doesn't, like, these are stacking on each other, which is kind of crazy, but I do wonder though if they're going to freeze a period of time now between dropping the third and actually setting the fourth on top of it, since technically, this is our what do you want to call it? Not the real stage of it, but the test phase, I guess, is what they called it.
Yeah.
And so there's a breath. There's going to be a breath between that time, so they can actually look at it. I hope they do that. No, kind of.
Well, they better, and my suggestion is just remove them because they're just absolutely ridiculous. I
Well,
mean, I'm
he
sorry.
answers that question with no.
Well, that's fine, but this game's going to go down the toilet if they do not do something. Even if they were to
Yeah,
take the stuff off the Datacrons. Problem is, Datacrons it's too much, man, for GSC.
it is. And territory wars, I'm sure at the high
Oh
end,
yeah,
I'm
tired
not in the high
TW,
end.
man. Let's not get into it. It is horrible, dude. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, it is, and
I'm
it's
not high enough to be
RNG, and
there.
it just
So
it's oh I am, and trust me, it is. It's oh boy.
I say if they want to keep this going, and I wish I remember who said this originally. It may have been Sandfly, whoever. It was the greatest idea. Offense only. If you change these to offense only, you can have great fun. You take away that craziness of TW because they're not on defense. So it's like the coordination goes down by at least half. I mean, at that point, yeah, sure, you'll run through things, but it's like that would make it fun, even if they're overpowered. It's at least, I know it comes down to, and some people hate it, efficiency points, and people will find cheats around that, but whatever. At least that way, it's not the defense insanity that it will become at the highest level.
That's true.
Because
Yeah, see, Whittleston 3 says problem is then you have a bunch of crazy OP Datacrons for offense. Yeah, so it's like
that's fine, but the point is to play with the tools, and like then at least you're clearing the stuff, and it's kind of fun to see. Then maybe because the point of them in my mind is to make lesser teams be able to beat higher teams, right? And now, because of the stupid rules, and this wasn't asked, which was the biggest question I think that got missed, was they talked about gear and to get to Relic 3, and he just said, yeah, well, we'll look at it. And that's when he went back. He wants to finish
all right.
the rollout of 1.
Yeah, I just think Datacrons, get rid of them. That just doesn't work, man. It just period. I mean, it just again, I go back to what they did a few years back, where they tried to dick around with TW, and they did where these had these ridiculous stats on these
Yes.
teams, and people absolutely hated it. Then they were taking stuff and adding stuff, and people really hated that. GC is fine with Omicrons. Talking about bringing lesser teams up and stuff. Omicrons do it. And you don't need Datacrons on top of Omicrons. I mean, the way Datacrons do nothing but just make people just not want to play. That's all they do. I mean, most people, like, I'm just sitting here like, there's some certain matches I'm like, I can't win. There's no way. And it's not because my opponent's done more work. I mean, the example I gave is the Finn team. 99.9% of the time I'm going to destroy my opponent. I have a 343 Finn, my relics, everything's on there. If I see that team on 3v3 defense, I'm like, hey, that's free banners. But the other day, someone had because they had like I think they had 6 or 7 25% turn meter ones of those Datacrons. I couldn't beat it. I couldn't use that team, and that completely destroys all the modding that I worked with, all the stuff that I did to get those characters that way. It completely nullifies it, and you can say they're temporary. They are temporary Datacrons, But for 3 months, I have to suck it up. No, I don't want to do that. I mean, who would? 3 months is a long time. You know, hell, a day is a long time. You're not having a good time.
It is. I guess one interesting thing you could take away from that, which I don't know if you let slip, or is just the way they're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
They do think that the timing may not be right. So, I think the best we can hope for now is after this first 3 set goes, we go in a down period. Maybe they clear all 3 of them and start all again with 4, and then it's a different period of time. So maybe there's less tuned, and each set goes for either a longer or a shorter period. I don't know which way they're looking, but he did mention that they are looking at the time, and it seemed like he thought it was actually going to be longer, which was interesting if you take the context from that. Now that you say that, and I'm thinking about how he answered that question.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, listen, it's their game. They can do whatever they want. I'm just telling you the feedback, and I'm sure you've heard this too. The vast majority of players out there do not like Datacrons. Wish they would just go away.
No, I had the GIC. I knew I couldn't get through a wall, and I knew that. And when I came on the first time, and we talked about it before they even went, I knew that was going to happen with the GL9s.
Oh yeah, they're horrible. I mean, and it's even RNG there because like if they've got inherited the Jedi on Rey, especially in 3s, that is just dynamite, man. It is almost unbeatable, especially if they have health still on that Datacron. The stun one on James Key is absolutely brutal too. But for me, I'm just like, if they're gonna keep them, get them off GLs, and they have really got to pull back on the stats. The stats are just outrageous. There's no reason whatsoever a team should have 600% health still. It's ludicrous. Yeah. The turn meter one is a horrible idea too. I mean, oh my god.
It reminds me of the time I didn't get it, because even though I was in the game when the mods first dropped, I don't know why I wasn't slicing any right away. But it reminds me of those Royal Guards who had something like I don't even know if we had protection at that time, but maybe.
The 1.0 mods, when they released mods, it was a dumpster fire.
Yeah, some people had 200 speed on stuff. I remember there were Royal Guards who were unkillable. Like, they had so much health that you couldn't kill them. Because of the mechanics, you couldn't kill them. Like, you were going to time out every time. There's just no way. Between the stuns and all the other stuff,
the abilities and the stats. I mean, they just get out of control. They really do. I'm just not a big fan of Datacrons. I just not. I mean, I just think they need to just disappear. Period. And I mean, if sometimes you just gotta say, hey, we tried something, it's just not working. Let's go back to the drawing board. Or let's wait till late. Let's pull them for now, and then we'll come back to them at a later date. I mean, I don't see the problem in that. I mean,
no, I agree. These were half baked and rushed out for some reason. I don't know if it's because Lord of the Rings Heroes opened up right around the same time, which is wink wink coincidence.
No, but, I asked Crum that. He was on our stream the other day, and he made it very clear that there are dedicated full teams for both. So when I hear that, I'm like, no, that's not a thing.
Yeah, but the money is a thing. No matter what we say, there are players that are going to do both.
Sure. And
there's going to be a siphon of some of the players in here that go to there. And I've watched some AP Games things, and at first it didn't seem like many people were spending in that, because that beta has some serious issues. But now it seems people are spending for whatever reason. It's interesting. So it does make me wonder, since nothing was kind of going on at that time, and no matter how much we hate it, and I hate it, I'm with you 100%. I wish they would just be thrown in a dumpster fire. It is making them money, whether it's directly or it's through Conquest, or is it Conquest? Yeah,
Well, yeah, you get them with
whatever.
conquest, and then, and at the top end, people, it's an arms race. I mean, if you look at the top 500 players and the amount of datacrons they have, holy
Yeah,
Jesus,
I was surprised. I
it's
didn't think it was going to go that way, but
well, I mean, because they have to. I mean, if you ask them, it's not because, I mean, maybe one or a few of them like them, but I think the vast majority are like, well, my people that I'm facing have them. I got to roll them too, and I got to keep up because if I don't get the right datacrons against these opponents that have these ridiculous accounts, I mean, they're going to get destroyed. And so it's an arms race. It's just that's where now everybody else, I'd say the vast 95% of the rest of the player base, a lot of them can't even touch it because of the Relic 3. I mean, they may have, like, you know, low tier, mid tier, they may have certain characters and teams that have some relics on them, but they don't have the requirements. You know, a lot of them don't even have the Relic 3 on the teams to even use the datacrons. So they're not even sniffing datacrons, right? And that even gets up to early high tier, you know, like 6-7 million. You start, you know, really getting your teams developed. But, you know, if the characters aren't certain relic level for that specific character, like Momo, you know, Momo's got a relic, a level 9 datacron, but she has to be relic 7. Most people aren't taking her to like 3 to 5 for, you know, for the requirements for JML. They're not going to, you know,
yeah,
getting relic material is really, I think the problem too is that, you know, they have not addressed gear. You want these datacrons to be in there, and the problem is people are struggling to try to get characters up to one relic and then getting them up to higher relics. So the vast majority of the players just are not engaged with datacrons, and the ones that are, I'm doing them, you're doing them, but we're doing them. I'm doing them just to test it out, just to see what works and what doesn't, and you know, dick around with them and just be the guinea pig. But I mean, yeah, I mean, this game usually makes money with good releases. Now the problem too is Inquisitors weren't the best released either. I mean, it's a very meh team. So, but you know, with the announcement of Profundity and Jabba and everything like that, I mean, you know, they'll make some money off those.
No, those are exciting, and I do hope they make money because that's, you know, I like the collection part. If R9 finally gets available, I will go for them for sure. Right now, I'm just.
Yeah, that's the other thing about the new characters with those Relic 9s. That's going to be tough for a lot of players to get because a lot of, as you said, a vast majority of players just are not getting Relic 9 pieces, you know, because they're just not high enough GP and stuff. And there's no really other place to get it other than packs. So if you don't spend $50 to get like a few of them at a few at a time, then yeah, you're basically hosed. You really are hosed. So. All right, so get your questions in. Good morning, everybody. Hello, Poby-Wan Kenebicus, my young apprentice, the Hand of Emperor J 1999. Good. All right, but yes, hello, everybody. Good morning. But get your questions in. I said we're just gonna, it's a slower week in SWGOH, and that's all right. Haley, there he is. Says, good Saturday morning, Ranger, Epic Games, and all the skewers in chat. There you go. All right, good greeting there, Haley. If you have any questions, put them all there. She is not your neighbor, Haley. You don't live in Greece anymore. You're an American. I'm trying to call her neighbor. Oh, here comes Helly. Oh, boy. All right. Question for my guy, Ranger. Remember how last week I was so slow at work? I asked a bajillion silly questions. Well, today's the opposite of that. Work sucks. I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. Well, just try to get through your day as best you can, Helly. And hope you can go home and have a nice cold beer. Good morning, Sir Loki. Hello, Sir Loki, the locomotive. It's a beautiful day in this beauty wood. Do 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 do.
What's Loki doing with datacrons? That would be interesting.
Loki's.
Okay.
He's about as big a fan as I am. Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? My neighbor. All right. Hang out. Yeah, we're just chilling. Drink some coffee. Hang out. And if you have any questions about SWGOH, feel free to put it in there. I'm just looking in my game right now to see what's going on. Oh, it's Darkside TB Phase 4. Well, there we go. Oh, howdy, Clayton. What's going on? Hopefully you got your food last night. We had a lot of fun with Clayton, Tilo, Wolf. Did some fun stuff. I had fun doing JC. We tried out some crazy. We got a little cray last night, but it was fun. It was fun times doing it. So get your questions in. We'll answer those. A lot of discussions about the stream last night. People were saying, they didn't really say much, and that's fine. I have to go back and listen to it. I didn't get it. I passed out, so it arrived, stuffed my face while watching the Crumb interview. There you go.
I think the biggest thing in it is that Heinze definitely was passionate about wanting things to change around them, and that was good because I think Crumb needed to hear that so that he can pass it on. I mean, there weren't a lot of answers in that, so
that's fine.
They were having fun, but
yeah,
it's a good listen, but you're not going to get a ton out of it.
Well, it's always a fun time watching the Muppet, Heinze do his thing,
Yeah.
I mean, good Lord, I've had so much ridiculousness fun with hanging out on Heinze because he's a Muppet. I mean, he's insanity incarnate, and he just has fun, and they're goofy, and we all drink and do stupid things, and it's just kind of a Heinze stream is a stream where you just on that Friday is just, hey, you know what? It's the start of the weekend. We've all had a long week. Let's just kick back, relax, have some fun, be goofy as hell. Do silly things and just have fun and just let the stress wash over you. Just get it out of you, So, all right, Hallie, get back to work. You were hiding in the bathroom. That's good shit right there. Wait, Hallie, question for Epic. After watching Heinze's interview with Crumb and organizing everything Crumb said, is it safe to assume that regardless of what CG does with Crapacrons, Hallie is basically screwed? We're all screwed. So, what do you mean?
Yeah, I'm with you there. Hiding in the toilet.
Yeah. Andrew's on this question. How useful is gas at 5 stars? That could be pretty useful. Just put it at 5 stars, gear 11 for gas. You need a buttload of protection.
Yes.
He's not going to hit hard, so you might as well just try to make it where he can just take some as best he can. It's the best way to do it. Is
that, or if you're using them and I hate to say Galactic Legends, but if you're using them in some kind of Jedi team, you can lean a little offense, but
yeah.
In general, I agree with you. Protection. That's how I have them modded forever.
Yeah.
With offense secondaries. But yeah.
And you'll
stand tall.
Yeah, and you'll change that up once you get into 7-star and Relic, because then you're going to flip the script a little bit, much less. You're trying to look for more offense, trying to balance out between about 110, 120,000 protection, between 9 and 10k. If you're doing that, I've seen some people go less protection, go well above 10k up to 11k on offense because they just like him hitting harder. So you can change it a little bit, but at the early stages, just protection on everything. Protection primaries with you can go offense set with health set and it should be fine. You can use them with Qui-Gon, that's totally fine. I mean, if you're going to do that, then you might as well go offense with them. But you can go offense step but still go protection. In JC, you have to use them with the 501st Androzani. It'll still work. And our Mr. Wilson says, question, how are you splitting up your Sith Empire in 3v3? Well, I'm keeping Darth Revan, Nasty Basti, and Malik together still, but I'm using Malgus, Talon, and Marauder on a team on defense. Utah question, since I'm finally farming tickets for JMK, congrats for following Rangers orders. When I get him and the ultimate done, what team should I be looking to put together with him? Utah, will you have cats? If not, then you can use him with Padme. I mean, Padme, a GR team, yeah, it will work.
So what I did before the ultimate, I used Padme lead. And yeah. I like that a lot. When you get the ultimate, then you can decide. But him with Padme is fun too.
It is fun,
even if you don't have cat. You won't beat the high-end ones, but you can still stick it on defense in any GAC, and you're going to cause problems. So,
well, yeah, it depends on what level you're at. Higher levels don't do that because they're just going to gas it. But you can keep for offense, and it does give you some flexibility because it can do good work. Not as good work without cat. I mean, having cat. You have cat? Oh, then that's it. That's shit. Just
Yeah.
Even before the open, run cat there. I mean, Jesus. Have fun, buddy.
Yeah. Then you have the options.
Yeah, lots of good options.
The two most popular, I guess, are JMK, Cat, Ahsoka.
Yeah, you want snips.
GK, and then that fifth. A lot of people rotate a lot of different things. Depends what mode you're in. But
yeah, it depends on what you're facing, but typically I'll even run Padme in that if I'm facing like a Vader or high end, GL or something like that. I'll put that on there for 5.
Cam, if you're not using him anywhere else, and
well, yeah, but remember Cam and Ahsoka don't mix too well. So I usually for Cam I like to keep him with JML. I mean, Cam under JML is just ridiculous. That dude hits like a tank, dude. Just oh my god, the hits he puts out are insane. Because you get all those bonuses, especially if you get your GML to like Relic 9, you get the bonuses. Even at Relic 8, you start seeing it. That extra protection as it starts stacking under him, that translates into offense. And when you throw that on Cam, who's already an offensive powerhouse, I mean, he hits nasty damage. I mean, it's insane how hard he will hit. So, kind of typically like to keep Cam for those teams. Keep the JMK team together. I've seen Bears, Padme, GK or Mace, definitely a Cat. Or instead of Padme snips and Barris. I've seen a few combinations of people using different things in 5s. In 3, it's pretty straightforward. It's JMK Cat and it's GK or Mace. You're just going to go in there and just wreck. That's a free. You don't even need datacrons. I mean, Christ in heaven, Cat's going to take out somebody immediately. And in 3s, that's high value because then it's 2 and 3. Even if you have a Rey with Hair of the Jedi, you just undercut that thing by 75%, and it can take the hits from her whirlwinds and stuff like that. So it basically nukes everywhere, dude. So yeah, but until you get I would keep it for offense just because you won't have the ultimate. So you can kind of dictate. If you put that on defense, it could be a pain in the ass, but it's a lot easier to beat without the ultimate because you're just going to get worn down. I mean, Cat will take somebody out, but if they're running the right GL, let's say I would JML. If I saw JMK with no ultimate, that's getting JML'd. No diff, whatever. Because you're never going to hit ultimate, and JML's just going to wear you out. He's going to get to his ultimate, and that's an easy cleanup. So's SLKR with the Night Sisters and stuff. So yeah. Good morning, hashtag. Good morning. Good morning. Yes, good morning. But the world's coming together for you, Utah. Be likey. All right. Get your questions in, guys. I know it's a slow week in SWGOH, but if you have any questions you have, we'll go for. As long as you guys got questions. I mean, I usually do this for 2 hours, but we'll sit here for as long as we can to answer your questions. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, comment, blah blah. Do all that stuff. And then I'm trying to think of the schedule. I will be doing. I didn't do the GA Center on Thursday with our good friend of the show, Nev. So we'll do that on Sunday night. We'll do that, and then we'll get to our regular scheduled programs Monday, like we normally do. So we'll go back to our regular scheduled programming on Monday. So we'll knock that out. I also think Sunday I'm going to a good friend Eduardo. I'm going to remod his account. So we got access. We'll remod it and get him squared away because he asked, and he's been a big supporter for a long time, and I don't mind doing it. I was supposed to be looking at some other things. I just don't have the time right now. Everything's just topsy-turvy right now. But I am going to get him squared away on his modding. We'll look at some of his stuff. We'll look at all his stuff and see what we can do to help Ed out. I've remodded him before, and he's done much better once we did. So we'll do it again for our good friend Ed. And I'll probably do that Sunday. We'll do Sunday evening. We'll log in before GA Center, and then I can just we can go right into the GA Center from that. Hashtag question: how many of y'all are going for profundity before Jabba? I am. Epic, I don't know if Epic's what he's going for right now. Yeah, that's another yes. Yes, okay, so 3 yeses so far. So yeah.
Yes. If I had the droid range, that's the way I would go 100%. The ships are just more valuable now, just like you were
They
saying.
really are.
You know, GAC, like, you're just going to get more value out of it. And
Yes. Yeah.
Radis looks like a great character. I don't have him up and running yet. I'll be farming him once he's farmable. That leads into my question, though. Do you have Shorty up and running, Ranger?
Hell no.
Okay.
Clayton
I
does.
wasn't sure.
Clayton does. You have to ask him. I haven't really dicked around with Sorty too much.
Okay.
So.
Well, I heard there was a team with her right now that was doing some stuff. So
Yeah,
I wasn't
it can.
curious if
Yeah, it can. Yeah, it's got some value there. Lee Boca says, question: my OG Mando is Relic 5. Is the Zeta worth it for the bounty hunters? Yeah, it can in situations. You get the 20 speed and all that other stuff, payout and everything. It's situational. So in one regard, most times though, at high end, of course, things will change over time. Before I would use it a lot because we just had bounty hunters, and I would go OG man. Go with the lead on that. However, I don't ever hardly use him other than in a Fennec counter team. So for right now, I'm not using the lead on it, and a lot of people use him with the Fennec counter for Lord Vader and other stuff. Because just you want Fennec. I mean, she's ridiculous. So I think you can get away with not having it on right now, Lee. You know, if it was bounty hunter and you're just looking for a character, I mean, yeah, 20 speed and everything else he does is pretty nice. But 95% of the time, he's not going to be in the leadership spot. Most of the time, you're going to go Django or Fennec or even or Sing lead, and so you're really not going to use it. So if you're hurting for Zetas and stuff like that, has some other Zetas to do. You can skip that one. You can skip that one. Who joined us? Oh, it's the Mad Chad lad Clayton. He sneaked in here. I was like looking at the screen change.
I was summoned.
You were summoned. Oh yeah, we want to talk about go Sorty
and Radis.
It's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Yes. What about Sorty? What can you tell the fine folks out there in Epic about Sorty?
Well, she's a lot of fun. She's just, depending on how you want to build the team out, she's just thicker than a Snicker. I think the biggest issue with her right now is in 5s. It's just kind of easy to get around her because there are too many teams that kind of get around her mechanics. With buff immunity or like Night Sisters can just plague the team down, and they keep coming back, so the stacking offense doesn't really get to it fast enough. Mm-hmm. But it is a team that if you go in with the wrong, it's kind of like reminds me a little bit of like a Night Sister with Acolyte. If you go in without like AoE damage, you get stuck behind the fact that you can never get to the other characters, because Sorty's protection up on her that stacks just gets out of control. Right. I mean, she is, it's 50% protection up, and it stacks 5 times.
Yeah, it's 250%. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So it gets a little out of control. I'm trying to get through her. So if you can't.
What did we use the last time? We had a Sorty team when we faced it. I just remember we just went in there with the team and just destroyed it. I can't remember. I don't think it was Bad Batch. Who did we use? I can't remember, but it was. You have to nuke it. I mean, yeah, it's nasty.
It's like if you can get around it like JKR or Grievous with
Grievous. We use Grievous. That's right. I remember
with the buff immunity from B2. It really slows it down because that's what she relies on, is her being just thick as all get out. If you turn around and mod her for a lot of offense and take her on the offensive, that team can just melt faces.
Yeah.
With T3M4 and BB-8 and IG-88 and either R2 or any other droid is it's gonna just melt. She's gonna use her AoE, but then it's one of those teams that you have to have a certain turn order on, because you want Sorty to go last with her AoE, so that you do the most damage possible with T3's unique going as well.
All right, so there you go. See. We're learning. Andrew Zani question: what kind of pizza should I have today? Reminder: veggies don't belong on pizza except jalapenos. How dare you, sir? Just get a meat pizza then. You don't want any veggies, get a meat pizza with the jalapenos and you'll be good. Cody, question is 1,350, 13,500 special damage a good range for GMY? Yeah, it is. I do not. I'm around 11k now on my GMY because I had to go back to speed and health sets because I was using that against the JMK counter, and he's got to live and go fast. Or you're too many times. The AI likes to beat the shit out of Yoda. They just go right for him, and as much offense as I had on him before, were kind of what you had, Cody. Wouldn't matter if he was dead. So I had to revamp and go. Speed and health sets on him again. Lost some of my damage, but he's under JML, so he'll pick some of that back up. So, but most times, yeah, 13,500 is fantastic damage, dude. Good lord, that's really good. I think that'll play. Guys. Yeah, I think that'll work. Lee, I asked because if I need speed, I have Relic Django, so it would only be for health. Yeah, I mean, you don't really need it. I mean, I have the Zeta for Mando, but that's because back in the day when he first came out and things of that nature, I would use him for certain teams because I was putting Django still in Separatists for defense, and I, wanted a good lead. It's a little bit less speed than Django, but I had really good mods. So I mean, using Mando lead back in the day when we were doing bounty hunters and stuff, it made sense. But as the team dynamics have changed, he's gone to. He's still a really important character, but Fenneclead it's where it's at right now. All right, so we're doing questions. We got Epic, we got Clayton, we got myself, and we're just here answering your questions for SWGOH right now. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop those in the chat. And make sure you put the word question for the actual question statement. And then we shall go... and then we'll eat the minstrels. Anything else? No, I think that's it. As soon as I get done here, I'm going to take some time. I got to study my Chinese, so I have to go get my lesson, and I got to learn it. I'm learning it, guys. I'm learning it very slowly. It's been a week and a half, and I'm learning. Mandarin is really hard. But like with any language, start breaking it down, doing what you need to do. Yeah, I'm just going to be chilling today the rest of the day. Got some stuff to do. It poured rain here last night. It's supposed to really rain here today. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do some laundry, vacuum, clean up my room, my spaces a little bit, and get some of that stuff done, but just mainly chill. How far along are y'all on Profundity? Well, I know, Clayton, you're done, right? You're ready?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
done.
I
when they announced it, the only thing I had left to do was Radis to R9, which he was already R8, and then Cassian from R5 to R8. But I've had my Rebels invested in for a long time.
Yeah, I've Cassian, Hera, all those other characters. The only one I need to work on is Radis, but I Clayton donated and I used it. Radis is 32 out of 100, and I will get the rest of his shards this week, and then we're going to gear him up. Then it's just gear. Cassian's 12. I already have Jin Relic, Dash is Relic. I just have to finish getting them to their Relic levels, but I wanted to wait till after I get Radis up first, and then we'll do the other 4, and then I'll be ready for Profundity. And as poor Epic mentioned, he didn't have Relic 9 materials because, well, they're hosing him. Question: can you learn "It's over, I had the high ground" or "Hello" in Mandarin? I've done enough lessons. Let me see here. It's still the same. Hello there, because ni hao is just the actual rough. When you break down the words and stuff. Let me look at my notes here. It's like it's how is like good, well, that kind of stuff. So it's telling me ni hao. I'll have to go look at that. But let me look at this other one you said. How would they say this? Well, that's the word. Well, if it'll let me. If I do it like this. Translation. Try something else. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I haven't even got to this part yet. So it's over. I have the high ground is Yishu Wu Yu Jingan. I can't even say Zigao. Is that all one word? They run this in together. Zigadan. Yeah, I'll have to learn how to say that because that's crazy. Oh man, I put that in there. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, when I do hello there, it's still giving me ni hao. Yeah, it's still ni hao. It's not giving me anything else. So there you go. Cop to translate here, Ranger. Well, I put in hello there. It's ni hao. I mean, I know that one. The other one is it's over. I've got the high ground. I'll put it in the chat, but it looks like it's wo you is I have. The high ground is kind of coming. Jing, looks like Jigadian, but I'll put it in here. I've not gotten this far in my Chinese, so I'm totally butchering the pronunciation because there's some of these, the way they pronounce their words. That's how you say it in, that's the translation I got for the, it's over, I have the high ground. Which is what the first word will be, is it's over, and then wo, W-O, it could be yao, wo yao, that last word, it's got to be high ground. I have. God, look at me looking what these words mean by looking at the Chinese language. Jesus, it's seeping in. I just can't pronounce them very well right now. Yeah. I mean, I don't have it hooked up on this one, so I'd have to transfer this over because I could hear them actually say it and then and do it. But we'll get there one day. I'll figure out how to say a lot of these words. But I'm still on the basic stuff, you know. So I'm just I'm just learning how you know, say how I'm an American. You know, I'm an American. When we decide somebody's name, it changes a lot of the dynamics. So it's like Nijia Shima Mingzu is, you know, basically translates to you're called what, or what is your name. But it translates to you are called what name is what that translates into. So it's how you ask somebody what their name is. But like, woe is I actually. Ni is you. So woe is I. Yeah. So woe is I. I was right about that. Yao. Let's see. Zhao. More like a y'all. Wow, you. All right. If you have any questions non-related to Mandarin, I'm not the best teacher of that right now. I'm learning myself. I am a student of it myself. You know, Christ. Actually, I didn't do too bad there, Clayton. I figured out some of those words immediately. I was like, oh, yeah, that's...
No,
yeah.
that's pretty... much better than I could have thought of.
Yeah, just get used to the structure and the words and stuff. Yeah, woe is I, ni, N-I is you. Or ye. And ye can be Use also. Let me go up here in my notes. Or ye. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's correct. Yeah, also. So when you, like, if someone says, like, for instance, saying, it's very, like, I'm glad to know you, like, Hengao Jingren Shini, then you would just blow in I will yi, which is also, and then Hengao Jingren Shini. I am also, very well, very glad to know you. I could do that with L73. You know, do I really want to do that? I don't know. That was interesting that ni hao, because hello there is you're saying hi. So when I try to translate it, it was like, no, it's still ni hao. Like, really? Not ni hao anything else? All right, you have any at the top of the hour? We're just going to go for a little bit while longer. Maybe this will be a shorter Jedi Academy, and then not getting a lot of questions. Again, this is a really slow week. There's no news whatsoever, so we're just kind of grinding our heads on the pavement right now, trying to get stuff ready. GAC, we did lose our GAC match last night.
No, declare fleets.
Yeah, he had to use 4 fleets. I couldn't do the math because it was too early in the morning. I'm like, how did he pull off? Did he have 6 fleets? And then I was like, we're short. I was thinking Empire was like 1 fleet. And so it says, no, it's 9 fleets range. I'm like, God damn it. They're right.
Yeah,
like, how did he do that? Yeah, it took him 4 fleets. It took him 4 fleets to clear Executor.
I don't want to commit to... I don't like it when I don't outrun their DRs on defense. I don't want to commit anything good, but at the same time, I don't want to, like, undershoot. I need to clear everything on the first attempt.
So it's Jay Cholet. Jay Cholet. Yo Z. Oh, that's actually SI is Sue. Yoju Gaojin. Really then? Never seen that before. Wow. Yeah, Zia is Sue. So Yoju Sue. Or you like the sound or Ju. It's Wall? Really? Walyo? WO is still Wall. Walyo. That's a tough one. I'll get there eventually, Benny. Appreciate you, buddy. Jeshule. All right. Question out, NR Wilson. Now that Datacrons are in the game, do you recommend keeping Jenkins Cat for offense? Yes, I do actually. Please do. It really helps. Especially face those raids and stuff. Utini says question. I'm preparing for my next Relic 9 character. I'm leaning towards C over Piet as my executor isn't 7-star yet. Thoughts on C at Relic 9? Don't. Just leave him at Relic 8. He's fine at Relic 8. I don't see the point. I mean, characters that you want to take to Relic 9. JML. Exactly, just because it just helps. General Kenobi's a good one. I mean, and if you want to get profundity, you're going to need one for your Radis. So, I mean, there's another Relic 9 you got to save for. Plus, if you're going to go for... I mean, C at Relic 8 is all you need, baby. That's all you need. I mean, you could take him to Relic 9. He doesn't really gain that much from it. Unlike a JML. And if I was to say anything there, Utini, I'd say it for executive. If you already got those other ones done, I wouldn't put it on C. I mean, C doesn't need it, man. Am I crazy here, Karth? He doesn't get any really bonuses that are just blowing me away.
I mean,
9.
So I mean, there are always advantages to taking Galactic Legends to higher relic levels. They're unique, gives him another 10% max health and protection to work with. His mastery goes up by another 10, so he stacks faster on his basic, and so when he ults, he doubles faster. I mean, there are a lot of nuanced stuff that are beneficial to taking any Galactic Legend to higher relic levels, but the question becomes need, and C, for the 98% of the uses that you'll have for him, you'll never need that relic level.
No.
If you are Whaley whale phase, then go nuts. Have a great time. If you're going to buy out the packs, take all your GLs to Relic 9. But I would just say either sit on it and see how far you're away from profundity, or when you are able to get Piet up there, it'll be worth looking into, because that's going to be the one thing, is we don't know yet how well profundity will counter the Executor, and we don't know yet if it's going to be a speed issue or not. So if it's going to have to be, if you have Relic 9 Piet, they have to have their 7-star profundity to counter you, or is it going to be like when Executor came out, the 4-star Executor just hard countered the crap out of the Negotiator? So it just depends on what they have as the baseline.
Yeah, and Relic 9 materials, unless you're a big spender like the match had, like Clayton, they're hard to come by, man. They really are. So, you got to really think about, where you're going to get the most bang for your buck, and just put it in your back pocket for right now. And you're welcome, Utini. Juice, for a question, with all the toys I have, it really sucks to gear old tunes. I'd rather gear new marquees than Gamguard and whatnot. 450 Carbantes. Yeah, I did. But there is some value to some of those, because, like, for instance, Cassian Jin, the Cassian Ewing is dynamite, right? Like, I did SRP and Biston, older characters. And you talk about Carbantes, that was... Clayton had to hold me emotionally while I was doing that. But it's really paid off, because those crew members, I would say if they're crew members, you do get value with their ships and stuff, the vast majority of them, because it just makes those ships so much better and makes your counter so much stronger in fleet. So in regards to that, I understand what you're saying. Now, that being said, yeah, Gamguard is going to suck butt to put 450 Carbantes on. It's just ludicrous, right? So... for me, profundity first, and then, yeah. But, Gamorrean Guard is just like, you just got to bite the bullet, man. Sometimes, and maybe they'll get a rework on them. I don't know. Shit, man. But, yeah.
I'm hopeful they do. It makes the most sense for them to do it now, because that's kind of like the whole main character.
Yeah.
But it is going to be a bit rough to kind of see where they want to go in the long run with it, but I do think that they will end up reworking Gamorrean Guard, either through an Omicron or adding a new unique to the character that gives him a lot more stats with the Hut Cartel tag, and that would probably be the easiest thing to do. Is just to give him a unique, because he doesn't have one, and then just be like, if the leader is Hut Cartel, then, because I don't think they'll do just straight out Jabba, because I think that makes it way too narrow. But I think that if with some of the requirements that the CG pushes for, there's usually a good reason for it. There's not too much dead weight in the long run. There's always one or two, but usually it's not like atrocious. Like, usually they've been pretty good about giving us Omicrons or something to make those fringe characters they forced us to relic earlier into something viable. So.
No, Helly, I'm not saying that. It's Greek, and I'm trying to learn Chinese. Quit screwing me up. Helly just ran to the bathroom and says, do that, you son of a... Oh, you turd. He's like, hey, can you say this? Tell E.O. say Anakin Eho... No. No, you're going to get me confused.
Alexander... Wait till Mob Enforcer is a requirement.
I'm guarantee you she will be.
She will be, yeah. Mine's 7-star and just dreading. All right, Alexander Bryan question. Any guess on when Radis will be free to play farmable? I'm buying the weekly
next week
shards. Yeah, I think so too. But still need 110 to 7 stars. Can get 85 this week, but hope I can farm the last 23 shards through a node. Yeah, it should be next week. We should get him. It's right around. We're at that moment. I thought he might come early this week, but no, he'll be out next week. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. If at most the week after. But yeah, he's around. He'll be here very soon. Okay, Helly tried to get me to screw up, and I won't play his game. I won't play your game, you rogue. Maximus Desmus Meridius, this question: does anyone else feel bad for Crom? Seems like CG just throws him to the wolves. Hats off to Crom for talking with the community. Seems CG just wants to keep dodging the gear. I wish they had better answers on the gear part for that. I haven't seen the interview. I don't know if you watched it last night. Clayton Epic already gave his kind of was very nice to give us the overall sense of what was in there, but not a lot actually. It seems like.
There was a lot of skirting of the question, and I think the only thing that was kind of like that he kind of like came out and said that was still somewhat in the works is what they posted, their original post for phase 1.
Mm-hmm.
They're still trying to find the ways to implement that, but I think the biggest, I think a lot of the issues in which he was, I mean, you can extrapolate from what he talked about with Datacrons, is CG's playing this game of long-term observation of what the changes that they make have. And so they're waiting to see what the overall shifts are in the economy, and that takes time to play out. So even though
Fair.
like for us, we're like 3-6 months later, we're like, hey, you know, what's going on? They're like, okay, well, you know, the first 3 months it was utter chaos for what our data was saying, and so then we got to wait 3 more months to kind of see what, you know, how it all shakes loose. Which I mean, I get to a degree, but I mean, I think that was probably CG's biggest issue with the phase 1 gear is they went really bold with their plan, and that did not end up well because they aren't following through in the time frame that the
it's
community
been
is
9
hoping
months,
for.
man.
Yeah, exactly.
10 months
that's
now.
Yeah, it's been way too long for that lofty of a goal to not be implemented, or not just been like, hey, or not even come out and say anything with it. I mean, because I think they rather not say anything negative and just let us stew on it. But I think it'd be like, hey, we don't plan on doing this till, you know, whenever, you know, a year from now or whenever they want to do it.
Christ.
Not that any of us want the answer.
Well, I mean, I would accept the answer if they say, "Hey, we're fine with things there are. We made this. Hey, we made a boo boo. We shouldn't have said that." And blah blah blah. I may not like the answer, but I'll take it. You know, at least I know where I stand. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's what people are waiting for is like, give us an idea of like, because then it's out of the back of my mind. I'm like, okay, that's there. Okay, now I can move forward. I know what the deal is. You know, I'm just like, just being in limbo is the worst, man.
Yeah. No, it's not a good time at all.
Clayton sent that way better than I did, but it made me think. I do wonder if, hopefully, I mean, this is being very hopeful, if they do want to shift it, because at some point, Datacrons are going to fail in mass if not enough people can get even to Gear 12. And we all know the pain to get from Gear 12 to Relic 0. So I do wonder if at some point they want to shift and they're just waiting to see like what the number of uses and interaction is for the Datacrons to then move forward with that. Thinking about data and stuff, but like that may be too hopeful in what's going on. But
well, we can see with the next set that they've toned things down quite a bit on what they're doing for the levels 3, 6, and 9 mechanics for a lot of the characters. Some of them are, you know, they got a couple of good ones out there, but it's really toned down. But I think what Grid said about it last night was like one of the things that just hit data, like one of the fatal flaws Datacrons on the head. It's like you guys put in a mechanic that requires us to have minimum gear on our squad, not just the character, to Relic 3, and you've done nothing to alleviate getting to relics. So it's like they're like, some of these things might go over better if we were easier to to interact with them. I think that's a lot of the problem is there's probably more people that would be more excited to interact with Datacrons if it was not as impossible to get to for a lot of the accounts in the 4 to 6, 7 mil range, because I like the one coming out from Night Sisters next. How many people have got that Night Sister squad at full relics?
Let alone the high relics.
Yeah, let alone high. I mean, it's just like maybe Zombie and DACA. Everyone else is probably still Gear 12 because you can do that in your account for GAC. It's still cost effective. It's still all these other things. And so that's going to be the problem is I think the next set is going to exasperate a lot of the ill sentiment that people feel towards Datacrons because they're just not going to be able to interact with them. Period. How many people have a full team of Sith at Relic 3 or higher that's going to be viable? It's like, can we take the crappy Sith that they made us gear for C and take a team in? Sure. Still going to be a crappy team that Wampa will probably beat the crap out of in fives. And so like, there's just so many things that it's going to exasperate on the next set. And so I feel like the more we give them constructive feedback on, what's not working, what kind is working, what makes them somewhat enjoyable, or what just absolutely makes us pull our hair out, and then just kind of keep giving them constructive criticism back on that, it kind of will fine tune it to a point. I have like 0.5% of a hope that they pull out Datacrons out entirely. Which would be probably the best thing. Just shut them down, retool it, and relaunch it later. Don't make us suffer through your growing pains, because I think that's what's going to just kill off a large swath of the community in that stroke. So
it's really made GSC not enjoyable. We're always going to have fun in GSC like we did last night. We're going to do silly things and have fun, but I mean, it's oh God.
I'm with Clayton here. I think the thought of Datacrons are okay if it wasn't shot to make the most money, right? And this is a EA thing. They were set up to make the most money from the top end. If they were allowed to lower people, especially like even Gear 12 characters, and then they activated, that would be great. Because then, like you said, that would open up so many more squads, especially in fives. And that's probably why they rolled them out in threes, because deviously they think, well, even if you're lower, you may have a few squads of 3 that you can activate a Datacron on, right? As opposed to fives, because they have to know that, and I fall into that. I just passed 7.3, and except for my like GL teams, there's very few that I do have full 3+. In fact, I've moved some characters now using the few pyrotechs I have to 3, because they were sitting at 1 or 2 to 3, just like to use them if I need them in a pinch. And that's, DR and some other squads, just so they'll activate. And that's terrible, because that takes away those Kairos to getting more characters into Relic. And so I feel anybody's pain about that part, because now you're not shooting at just getting onto Relic, you're shooting all these others to get up there to get to 3 now too, which is a pain in the butt as well on the lower Relic gear.
Yeah. So hopefully they're listening. Questions. Maximus says, question, any Malgus counters for JC Relic 9.3 Datacrons? LOL. I know Gas has been doing it. What are the counters have you heard, Clayton? I mean, Gas, GLs will take it out, no problem. Any other teams? I mean, Gas. I'm trying to think anybody else. Top of my head, I know Gas, because he's just not getting the bonuses that he will in fives. Gas against Malgus in 5 ain't gonna happen. Too fast, too much bonuses. But in threes, yeah, I've been hearing Gas. What else? Need 3 question. Best options for crew: Red Trooper, Star Killer on defense. No Datacrons on that team. The hell did I use?
Sorry, I was half zoned out there for a hot second. The one that I've seen working is a lot of things with Mace. JKR with Mace, some other Jedi variations with Mace, because the constant ability block that can't be resisted by Sith, I want to say.
You talking about for Malgus, or you talking about
for Malgus?
Yeah. Mace in there, Gas is in there that you can use. What else? Yeah. And then the other one is best options for crew: Red Trooper, Star Killer, and defense.
As in,
no Datacrons.
best for offensive views. like to counter the team on
yeah,
defense.
If you're facing that team on defense, what do you go for? I'm trying to remember what the hell we used against that. We faced it before, and I don't remember what we used.
I mean, you could just use Maul Mandos with like SWAT to get out ahead of them. Because you can just dispel the taunt on the first turn and then just lay into what's his name? Starkiller, sorry. And then
well, there's a few options that you can use against that team. I'd say definitely an A team, so you're gonna have to use an A team on it.
I feel something with Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah, Jedi Knight Revan.
You could do Luke. I'm blanking on the Luke's name. The Jedi Knight Luke lead with obviously he dispels every time he hits. You can do that. Revan, Hermit Yoda, whoever, Barris. I mean, the third wouldn't matter in that squad.
Yeah, Luke's
I think Jedi Knight Revan lead because you can pick the character you want to hit. You can get Red Trooper out, so you could do a lead with him depending on whatever Jedi you have. I mean, you could do Basti and Jolie, or put a better one in that second slot. The Jedi, you have a lot of options to pick that one apart with Jedi Knight Revan. That's my first thought.
Yeah, I like that. Maximus question. We all want CG to increase the amount of gear we get. However, do you think if CG would just decrease the amount of gear needed for a character, that would help too? I'm down for both. Shit.
Yes, please.
Either way, either increase it or decrease what's needed for characters. I mean, like, and Jack Daniels brings up the point about Cartex. That's been proven that's nonsense when they wrote that. Because, for instance, Ninth Sister, when I was doing Inquisitors, not only did she need like 400 something Carbanti, she also needed 400 something Cartex. I mean, it's just ludicrous amounts of gear that is needed for some of these newer characters. I mean, it's crazy. So either start doing a reduction for what's that's needed for gear, or increase it. One something or the other. Something's got to give here, because it's starting to get really out of control. And the other part too was salvage and everything like that. It's really getting the pressure is on. Unless you're going to spend a fortune and you don't care. But the vast majority of players, are not going to be able to spend that kind of money, nor would they want to. And if they could, and then farming gear just takes forever. And then you're just trying to keep up, and you can't keep up because gear will lock you out a lot of times. You're just like, Jesus Christ, I just farmed 2 furnaces to get this character to Relic 0, and then I got to get it to Relic, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, wait, I got to use more furnaces to salvage. Like, Jesus, it's just
And another bad part of this now is when they moved crystals to GAC, it helped a little bit because your income went up in those cases, right? So you did have a little bit extra crystals to do whatever you want, buy gear or stuff. And if you won, you obviously got the bigger rewards, which at first worked great. But now, because of what's going on in GAC, if you get too high, you're losing all the time. So your income is dropping drastically now, which is putting even more pressure on this whole system as well. And Crumb did mention he hadn't talked to him in a long time, but he did say he would look into matchmaking. He hasn't talked to him in a long time about that, but that was on his agenda to get with those guys. So hopefully they have enough data now. And if he
of course they have enough data.
Is on it, they'll look at it to do something. I don't know. There has to be another component than just this winning score thing, rank.
Jack Daniels, why spend that much when CG will just evaluate what you bought? Man, they did it, yeah. But some people don't care, Jack Daniels. I mean, we all know, I know quite a few people, Clay knows quite a few people, they don't care. I mean, they're going to spend. It's just what they do. They have the discretionary income, and they're just going to spend. So, they may not like something, but they still spend. So, what can I say? But the vast majority of us, it's kind of like, yeah, that's one of the things I don't like about Datacrons is like, all the work I did is like, oh, that's out the window for 3 months. Great. Sure glad I invested in mods and busted my ass and spent some money and did this so I could have this team up and running. And yeah, you and I don't, Jack Daniels. A little bit on budget. The other thing too with crystals, I was thinking about this. You just said that Epic is, but the problem with getting less crystals because you're losing. But the other problem is too, like with farming with new characters always coming in, which I'm happy about. That's got to take priority first is get them the stars because you can't do a lot of the events without them maxed out. So I'm having to use crystals instead of gear right now. I'm having to use it for character shards, which I will be doing for a while if I want to get Jabba and the profundity. So, gear I have to farm in other places, and it's a slow process. Oh boy, is it a slow process. I think skill and kyber should be the only metric, but in lower leagues, a 1 million GP should not be facing a 6 million GP player. I agree. That's exactly. I mean, I know people drop and they're not really interested, but the problem is even if they're just not even thinking about it, they just put a GSE defense down, not even thinking about it. A 6 million is going to raffle stomp a 1 point something million GP player. I mean, that's not even fun. Who has fun doing? I mean, hell, just at my level, 9 million facing 10.2, 10.3. Those are rough matches, baby. Relic 7 to 9 on everything. It's like, Jesus Christ. So I can only imagine the pain of those circumstances. It is something that needs to be addressed. I'm glad to see that Crumb said that he's going to be looking into it or say something again. So it's something that needs to be looked at hard. Because I agree with you, Epic. The skill rating system, I like it, but it needs to be tweaked so where we don't have that kind of circumstances happening. Kyber 1, you're in Kyber 1. I mean, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
Even some stuff in Kyber 2. But after that, Jesus. Some of these matches that I get, hey, I'm 3 million facing the 7 million. Really? Oh, boy.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing is that he was trying to go in on, I was like, well, people who fall, you can't really control some of those aspects of players that just disengage until they fall way down below what their actual ability is, and then they start raffle stomping around on these players that are much worse, or have just drastic difference in investment into the game. And so it's hard to say holistically what's the best way to approach it, because it's like they'll have to go back to their old system or a combination of the new system and the old system where you still have ranking locked out by GP.
I think that, yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I am too, actually, very much. Like if you get to 8 million GP, or whatever, 9 million Kyber 1, and then you can do skill rating based in that area, right? And you just increase the crystals. So people that are in Kyber 2 that are going to play the game where it's significantly less crystals if you stay in Kyber 2 and down the line, but it gives you incentive to try to climb to get to the next GP level. But when you get to that GP level, you're going to be locked in with all the stuff too. And then you can do skill rating based off that, I mean, they've got the percentages of people that are in, how many people are in Kyber 1 and how many are in Kyber 2 and all that stuff. And, they can mix it up. So that way that people that are in that, we don't have 3 million versus 7 million, So, yeah. I like that idea, actually.
Yeah, they just got to have something that makes that viable. Like it's just right now it's just so ridiculous for how it's set up. I don't think it's going to be tenable.
I don't either.
Plays
yeah.
out.
Yeah, we need some kind of boundary in each of these, and I'm okay with that. Nick, read a question: are we getting less crystals now that the season of GSC are 3 weeks instead of 4? No, it's the same amount of crystals. I mean, we still get the same reward for the 4 weeks that and we're doing 3 weeks, and then they increased a little bit the actual daily and all that stuff. That it went up a little bit for overall. They had a thing on there, so no, we're still getting, because that week that we're not doing anything, whatever they did.
They increased the rewards for the weekly payout. Is what they've done.
So there you go. Whatever the math is. It's too early for math, goddammit. But all I know is it's supposed to be more. Or right around, just a little bit more than we were getting before. Just a wee bit more, but it's still technically more. That's all I know. I looked at the numbers and I was like, okay, that's more. Don't ask me how it works out. Daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. I don't know. Shit. I just work here. I don't even work here. I'm just here. Benny,
Talking about that, Ranger, you got a drop in that Heinze stream.
I did?
Yeah, they name dropped you because Crumb is looking to fill like 2-3 positions.
What happened?
Crumb said now that they've divided his team into 2 groups. Now that Lord of the Rings is in soft launch, he called. So he's looking for 2 to 3 more people to come into the community management team. So your name got dropped.
Who dropped my name? Him or someone else?
No, it was. I think it was Grid. But
yeah, there was a few people in chat saying to hire you, and then of course Heinz said don't hire that jerk Ranger.
Oh, I get that.
In a loving way, of course.
I know.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Well, that's news.
So maybe that was the biggest news. I kind of skipped.
Hey, new community manager, Ranger J 1999. I can neither confirm or deny anything you guys are asking me anymore.
Yeah, actually, they did talk about that, about starting the beta again, or the test accounts. Sorry, beta.
It's the same. Yeah, it's the same term. Yeah.
Sorry, the test accounts for us. And he was like, "Yeah, we'd like to do it again." And Grid, I think, asked, "Well, should it only be?"
It has to be very vetted this time, and it has to be very few players in it.
Well, so I think on that front, yeah, he asked, "Well, should it all be content creators then?" You know, I assume that was his thought, is that everybody would be vetted in a smaller group.
Yeah,
and Crumb was like, "Well, we don't want all content creators because then no one can talk about stuff. But yeah, we would probably let a few in and, you know, start it up in a small group, blah, blah, blah." But so it's interesting. They are thinking about it again, you know, no timetable.
It is, I mean, as much as everybody says, I mean, having us in the beta program before, I mean, it was a big help to them. Because we could cut things off before it even got out in the game. And if you look at the vast majority of characters that came in, those were all tested by the test team. We looked at stuff and and would give our opinions and say this doesn't work, that doesn't work, that kind of. But those days are gone. So all the stuff that's been mainly coming out this year is just I have no idea. So I couldn't tell you. Non-SWGOHs or D&D tonight? I have no idea, Yuta. I haven't heard anything, seen anything. I'm not planning on it. So I have no bloody idea. I thought we were doing it last week, but apparently we weren't. So if we do it. I'm not planning on it. But if they do, it could be tonight. The person you need to ask is Finn. He's the DM on that now. He wanted to do some DMing, so he's running the game. So yeah.
I blame Finn.
Just assign announcements with the content creators as exclusives, Empire with Arnold and so on. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I mean, but the problem with the beta program before is as much good as we did. The problem is that those leaks those are big deal, folks. I can't tell you how bad that shit was for the company and for it just. It's a big problem, and it's not that wasn't the first time that's happened, and it's I don't know why people can't just keep their mouth shut. If you're going to be a beta tester, you have to learn to keep your mouth shut. You can talk to other people that have NDAs or involved with the program and stuff, so I don't know why you can't do that, but whether you disagree with someone or not, you've signed an NDA, you made a commitment. That's the commitment. That's the obligation. But the leaks that happened many times since they've had the beta program up, it's bad, and hopefully if they do run it again, they get just a few selected players at different levels that they can trust, that they know that they've had a long-term relationship with, that they know they can trust, that will not leak. Because if we just didn't have the leaks, I could still be in their beta program testing and stuff like that. So, I mean, yeah. Mod announcements to RSG, let's go. I can stick it to the... Wait a minute, why am I getting mods? I get depression. I changed my mind, Juice, for that's mean. You're very mean. You're being totally mean to me, Drew. Totally mean. You know how much Swevens and mods make my ulcer hurt. How dare you? It's going to be tremendous, the beating you're going to get from me right now. I've got very large hands. Sorry, I was looking at something in Discord. All right, we'll go for a little bit while longer. You got me, Epic, the Matt Chad Lad Clayton. I'll do some more here. I'm looking to see if I can see there's anything. I don't know anything about D&D. Is there anything on D&D? D&D. I didn't get any announcements or anything. I don't know if we're doing it. We'll see. Nothing yet. Kazakage, but it's too easy. It's this question. Are y'all ready for Relic 9 Mom Enforcer, Relic 5 Cup, and Relic 3 Eth Koth for Jabba the Hutt? How the hell would Eth Koth be associated with... You had me... Mom Enforcer, okay, sure. Cup, not really. And then Eth Koth, I'm like, why? Damn it, Kazakage. You just wanted to say Relic. When am I going to Relic my Eth Koth? And I'm not, unless I'm forced to. Bastards. Just trying to make me get mod announcements... And Swevens and Eth Koths. I mean, you're being really mean. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to go nuclear on you. I think it's pronounced nuclear. Nuclear. All right. Relic 9, I'm a gun die. Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be, for the most part, either characters that were at the events of episode 6, or it's gonna be characters that were at the events or just Hutt Cartel, so they're gonna add.
Yeah.
But like we know they've got marquees coming, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think Bib Fortuna is going to be one of those. I just have
I do too, yeah.
I don't know what the other one's going to be, but it'll be interesting. And I think
hopefully Crom.
Well, they insinuated that a little bit last night.
I think he's going to be part of. He's going to be hanging on Jabba's tail, like
I think he's going to be in Jabba's kit, or he'll be his relic amplifier. I don't think it's going to actually be the character.
Yeah, he's too small and didn't really do anything else other than just be an annoying little turd.
Yeah, just sit there.
Chew on 3PO's eyeballs.
Yeah, I don't see that being an actual character. I think it's going to be part of his kit, or part of his art, or part of his relic amplifier, but it won't be an actual character.
Yeah.
I hope part of the kit. That would be cool.
She says hopefully they're at least useful like Fennec or something. Well, I mean, I could tell already Chrysanthemum's kit is dope, man. That character, man, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Man. And we get him up and running the Hutt Cartel, he's going to be gross.
Yeah, it's just the faction is so poor right now that it's just like it doesn't mean anything. So it's hard to do much with it because the faction doesn't really.
I mean, he's okay in Bounty Hunter Squad. He's actually pretty solid in Bounty Hunter Squads. It's nice to have another tank, but yeah, he's going to shine in the Hutt Cartel thing, and he's really going to shine with Jabba. Good Lord, is he going to be a pain in the ass to fight?
Was it a miss that they didn't include Dad Bod in this? Because
they definitely could still change.
They could change that, yeah.
What they want to do with him there, but my guess is that Dadbot is not going to be a part of it, just because
Conquest.
That's part of it, but just that, like, at that point in time, he was no longer working for Jabba.
Oh yeah.
So my guess is that they're going to give us something that's going to be a little bit more, like, thematic. So, and especially if he's not going to get the tag, then why would they do anything different? If they're not going to give him the tag, it doesn't make any sense.
Yuta, what would Ranger do if they require Eth Koth to relocate? And the little sub note on the post is for you, Ranger. Well, people would have to die. So Juice says, also, how big is Jabba from a UI perspective with the block me from clicking on something? Well, I mean, they got Womp in the game. Womp is a huge critter. They
Nine
did
Sister's
Womp.
massive too.
Yeah, Nine Sister's massive. So I mean, I think they can do it.
They might change the camera angle and put him like to the back, like check up like the sixth and like fifth slot as the leader. I mean, they can always play with stuff. We don't know what they're capable of on the back end, so.
What if they required gas because of the Clone Wars movie? That's stretching it. That's a little bit of a stretch. Just
I mean, what would they require gas at that junction?
Yeah, right.
Though?
Yeah, I mean, he's already required
at Relic 8 for his own thing.
Anacrin. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think so. That would be horrible. Oh no. Let's see here. Kizakage says it took many years for the Viagra brothers to get resistance tag. Eth, Koth, and Cup make CG sense. Well, you never know. I ain't touching them until they're needed. You know, we were talking about this the other day. If we get GLA, someone said, well, you're going to need the Ewoks. I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can finally work on Ewoks. It's not that I don't want to work on Ewoks. I just can't deal with all this other stuff. But if it leads into a GL, I mean, that would be brilliant. You know, to have all the Ewok required for GLA, that would totally work. Jedi Luke did appear in front of Jabba. That's true. He's not part cartel, but he was there. You're technically, that's right. Yeah. He did offer up 3PO. You know what? 3PO and R2 were gifts to Jabba from Jedi Knight Luke. You know, unbeknownst to them.
Well, R2 knew. C-3PO didn't. He had to record the message with somebody.
Oh yeah, R2 just likes to be. He's a prankster. He's like, I knew, bitch. That's all R2 does. He's the best. He's the greatest hero in Star Wars. He just does what he needs to do to save the galaxy over and over and over again. He's involved with everything.
So the only reason why I don't think they would require those characters is the relic investment we already have in those characters. R2 and JKL are already R7 requirements. Yeah. So
I'm just being cheeky.
I keep looking at people like, oh yeah, these could totally make sense. I'm like, like they're gonna get a lot of their money out of these new marquees for Jabba, especially if they're gonna go 6 weeks and straight into Jabba's event, and that's gonna be a massive push for them. Otherwise, I don't know.
R2 can't go down those stairs. Yeah, he's got the little burner things. He can just float down.
Yeah.
He
had more powers going backwards.
Yeah.
Through time.
He did. What if we get Watto? Why? Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Kira was Crimson Dawn. I don't think she was. From the lore I understand of her, she was never associated with the Hutt cartel, was she? I don't think so. But then again, it's still early morning.
Early on, you might have an argument for that.
Possibly, yeah. We'll see. I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be what it is, and we know we got 2 marquees and a few other characters coming in, so we'll see what it is, and we'll let it play out. What Relic 9s and all that other happy nonsense. What if we get Bounty Hunter Leia? I would be happy with the Bosch Leia. Totally. We're not going to get Slave Leia ever, so as much as we're all salivating on that one, they ain't bringing her in the game, so sorry. It's just never going to be a thing. Bounty Hunter Leia for Conquest? Possibly. I mean, I don't know if I would bring her as a Conquest character.
She doesn't really work with Jabba. I mean, I would love to see her. I hope she does come in.
Oh, the character that Bosch in the uniform she stole, or I think was Bounty. I don't know if she was a cartel. I don't remember. I have to go back in there and look. It's been a while since I've looked at all that crap.
I mean, they can technically put anybody in there.
Oh yeah, they can do whatever they want. So
I mean,
I still think we're getting Satil Shan next. Watch me be wrong.
She makes a ton of sense to bring up the Old Republic faction.
Mm-hmm. She really does, and she's the perfect foil for Malgus. I'd like it, and then after that, probably get like Red 5 or another ship that we got coming in. What about Lando and Mask? Yeah, he was. Yeah, we could get a new Lando. I wouldn't be upset about that if we got Hut Cartel, masked up Lando. That would work.
Rancor Keepers, the Niktos.
It works for me.
Well, there's a lot of things with that one that I just get a little like gun shy on when it comes to some of these like one-off little characters. It's like, does it make sense to bring another iteration of that character into the game?
Yeah.
And like usually the answer is no, because it's like, what else would they do differently? So like for me, the ones that made the most sense for me that I've seen was young Han and young Lando being required as a smuggler parts for him. Because they're way less geared characters. That does make a little bit of sense to have that put together. So I could see something like that happening, and it being a little bit something more of that vein. So those are all options I could see going down. Them going like back in some of the old school stuff and trying to use that as their basis.
What else? 3 question. Thoughts about Hunter Echo Tech versus Dash L337 in Vandor? I like it actually. If there's no datacrons, I mean,
it's gonna be rough.
If you're faster than Dash, and I remember he gets that 20 speed, but even if it's opening salvo, would you want Wrecker in there instead? No, you really want to control that team because
no, you got to have tech.
You got to have
tech. But the problem that sucks is that the L3 is going to dispel like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
So if she's mid to high relics, that's going to be a pain in the keister.
Yeah. I mean, you can control the team and you can get damage. You could probably easily take up Vandor and Dash, but L3 might be a bitch.
Yeah. Well, you got to get to Vandor in that one.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah, you have to get to Vandor. So it's going to be, it's doable because you can control them quite a bit with the team, but it's going to be still a challenge because L3 dispels a lot. So the more you attack the allies, she keeps dispelling her allies every time they get hit or critically hit or something like that. So it's going to become quite hard. So you're going to have to like use the Hunter ability to swap over to Echo to get the like guaranteed hits over to that, but it's just gonna be hard to keep them locked down. There's not much damage there, but you could easily time out.
So hard, super hard.
Notions. My name is Kylo Ren. I have to back.
Carl runs the post. I've seen this post in well, someone really didn't. Heinzie chat with Crumb 72822. This guy went in. Oh, this guy went in. Woo! He really did not like the interview.
Well, that's to be expected to a degree, though, eh?
Yeah.
If you were expecting real answers, yeah, you were probably a little disappointed.
Well, I mean, he can only answer what he's allowed to answer. I mean,
I agree.
You know,
but people don't.
And I understand the frustration with it, and they have every right to be frustrated with it. You know, so the gear stuff is a tough one. I just can't defend that anymore. I mean, I don't know how to explain that one. I really don't. You can't put out that kind of post and stuff, and then 10 months later we're sitting here going, and go on.
The other thing too was like, it was like, what are you gonna do that's going to actually like have a useful conversation here?
Yeah.
Because what is he really going to say or answer differently that we want to have answered? I mean, I just don't see that happening. Because and not anything against Crumb, but it's like, I mean, if the answer is we don't know or we don't have one, like what is he going to say or do differently that's going to appease the masses? I mean, there's nothing that he's going to say that's going to make anyone happy if he can't give an answer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, well, everyone's upset with us because we didn't do anything that they wanted, and I'm like, well, that's gonna be how it was always gonna be. So next.
I think the way you should look at Crumb interviews is not what he says, but trying to get your feedback to him. Like, make your points so he can see how people in the community are responding and stuff like that. I think that's invaluable. You know, keep bringing up the gear. Keep bringing up what that they posted about gear and everything like that. I think that is very much in the wheelhouse, and you have every right to be upset about, especially that one. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on the table that they need to do. I think what CG needs to do, this is just my suggestion. I don't know how you feel about this, Epic or Clayton, is they need to take a step back. Before we start adding some more shit to this game, let's go back and kind of take care of this other stuff first. You know, there's a lot of issues that people are quality of life and other things. Let's get all that implemented first, then, and say, hey, we're going to be, for the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to be trying to work on this stuff. The people will stay, they'll be waiting, they'll say, and then after them, we'll start implementing new things. I guarantee if you put that out there, people will be like, okay, just say, hey, be flexible with us. We're going to try to do some quality of life stuff, blah, blah, blah. Maybe we'll do some marquees and some other characters, but, we're going to pull back on anything new in the game until we get all this other stuff addressed and figured out and give it and come up with an answer one way or the other. And then that way the community knows, and then we can move forward. Gear, mods, all that stuff. Get that squared away first. I just think if we addressed all that first and had an answer one way or the other on it, then we can move forward with all the new stuff. Because a lot of this, when new stuff comes out, all the old grievances and stuff just keep being brought back to the forefront, right? You talk about Jabba and profundity, we're all like, yay! And then all of a sudden, but what about gear? That's true.
Yeah, I mean that was the big problem. I mean, it's just like you were in a situation where you weren't going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nothing that CG could say or do at that junction that was going to appease the crowds in a way that was meaningful. I mean, everyone's just I mean, Grid adjusted in the mid interview. He's like, quit calling us apologists. Like, you guys gotta understand, we can't just invite somebody on and then berate the living shit out of them.
Yeah,
like what is that going to do? Again, Crumb is just the messenger. Let your grievances be known in a constructive way, but don't just sit there and now I've got somebody to yell at. I mean, that's just no better than a Karen at a Starbucks bitching at some bullshit that she's unhappy with. I mean, it's just like, it's not going to change anything. They're just going to wait till you leave, and then they're going to go back to doing what they were doing. I mean, that frustrates me too. I'm just like, you're going after the wrong part of this. Like, I get frustrations. I'm all about that. I'm in the same boat as a lot of people, but constructive.
Yeah, you got to keep it constructive. Important. And it's all right to vent. Trust me, I let you guys vent here all the time, So vent away. But also, what we like to do here at RSG. I like you to vent, but also solutions. And you guys do a great job of that in the chat. Giving solutions to the problem. Now, just keep bringing it up, man. That's all you can do. I mean, at the end of the day, CG is going to do what CG is going to do. We just have to keep the home torches burning and just sitting there saying, hey, gear, mods, that kind of stuff. And just keep bringing it up. I mean, that's really what you want to do there.
Yeah, he did talk about the mod update coming in, and that seems still.
I do like the mod update. I think that's pretty
they're focusing on. So he did mention that, and I think that's good. I think what people wanted, and I kind of wish it was there too. And I've never been in a position like that, so I can't say how tippy-toe you have to dance around it. But if he could just say, like, on a whiteboard, we have a plan for gear, and it's different than what we thought it was going to be when we did the post 10 months ago. I think that would have helped a lot.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But, like, I also think right now, I think I said this earlier, I'm probably repeating myself a little bit. I think he came on too early. He hasn't been back long enough to talk to everybody to see what he's missed yet. So hopefully if he does this in a month or two, as we get into the anniversary and stuff, maybe then they're ready to unveil something. I'm hoping. The one thing that popped into my head with this, though, is But when they changed, what's that store? The main store, and they put the crystal stuff on top of the free,
Yeah.
the free stuff for credits.
People lost their minds.
Yeah, I did too, and I've messed it up once or twice as well. And when I didn't have enough coffee.
Know. Don't hit that button when you first wake up in the morning. Like, you're gonna test the game. Oh no,
Yeah.
where'd my crystals go?
No.
I did that once. I was like, oh shit. Oh,
And you're like, I didn't. Hopefully, I didn't hit the 600.
Oh no.
Yeah, but I was thinking, why in this day and age, when those were put in, and you can only buy one piece of it, why haven't these gone to like 10 and 20 and 25? Like, that would be just an easy win for them to move that free stuff from one piece to like something reasonable. And you can't tell me that doesn't, like, that wouldn't take like 5 minutes of coding just to move a number when those things
I
pop
can't,
up.
because I don't know shit about coding. I don't know, man. So, for me, I try to give coders an easy, because someone showed me some coding one time. I'm like, what? What the hell is this shit? Wow. I was like, that's insane. I was like, that's like,
but anyway,
language.
The
oh my
point
God.
Yeah, the bigger point of it was when they moved that stuff around, they were clearly in that code. They could have just moved it up, even by 5. Like, add 5 to every piece when you're buying the free stuff for just credit. Like,
oh sure.
I mean,
I don't like that. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Andrew Zani, I would rather they stop doing interviews like they won't let Crone say anything. I mean, if I was in Crone's position, I would just come on like, you guys can ask me questions, I'll answer what I can, but I really want your feedback. I think that's what Crumb likes to do, is to get the feedback, to see. That's him gauging the community, where they're at, how strong is the community sentiment on this, so I mean, he can only reveal what he can reveal. I mean, but I also think it's cool as a community manager. I think it's cool just to be out there. Maybe he can't give answers, but I mean, just to be out there. At least it's communication, I mean,
he needs to be out there.
He needs to be out there, whether he can say anything or not.
Whether you're satiated with the information he provides or not is irrelevant. He needs to be out there, and it needs to be. I mean, even though he's got to take it to the face a little bit on some of the grievances of the community, he needs to be out there. I mean, it sucks that he can't provide information, but I mean, he was just blatant about that. And the other thing, he's like, we don't want to ever give anything that's not final. And that's why we don't let you guys know anything until it's like literally just about to go live, because they don't want to mislead the community, because every time they misstep or say anything, we light them the hell up. The words.
Yeah, we're still doing it with the gear one. I mean, he's still
and it sucks for them, and I understand that, but at the same time, it's like, it's not his call. And at the same time, if we had more questions that were not all about hammering them on gear, then we might have had a bit more of a constructive interview. I think the last 10 minutes of that interview was probably more interesting than the whole bit about them trying to poke and prod him about gear, because it was actually like questions that were things that he could answer or talk to or address a little bit and have a little fun with, because there's things that he was prepared to tell us about. Mm-hmm. But like when we would sit there and try to beat him over the head with questions that he can't give us any answers to, what does that change? That's my biggest issue, is like, it's the perspective of the player base. If you're not getting answers that you want answers to, then you're not going to think it was a good interview. But if he was able to talk more about Jabba or the Hutt cartel or anything like that, I mean, we only talked about Datacrons, gear, and like the last 10 minutes was like, hey, some quality life stuff, and oh yeah, Jabba's coming, right? And that was it. Like, it was very short on the stuff that they were probably much more prepared to talk about, because those are things that are guaranteed coming to the game now. So I mean, that's I think it would have been a little. It's hard to have those interviews. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, but I think the community manager needs to be out there regardless of what. I mean, I want CG to be interacting more with the community. I want them to do more of that stuff, because I think seeing live reactions and just being with the community and seeing people and what they're saying and stuff, it's important. Because then the forums, It's just words. You know, the dynamic is totally different when you're streaming live with someone, or you're doing a stream and interacting with people and letting them say what they need to say. You know, I think it's just way better. Remember, we had the dark days, guys, back 3 years ago, where we didn't have anything coming from CG. We didn't have any communication. It was just a post here and there. We were in the dark about everything. So, and then all of a sudden, bam! But then they would drop something, and then we'd have no interaction, and then we're like, okay, what do we do with this? You know, it's like just have him on Jedi Academy every week. So, oh, he. If I could, I would. It's really tough. I mean, there's no way right now because he's Papa Crumb. He's got a lib baby, so. But I mean, it wouldn't be any different if I had him on Jedi Academy. You guys could, I could take every question you guys have, and you can keep asking him all you want. He's going to give you the same answer if he's not prepared to say something on it. You know, what about gear? What about gear? What about gear? I'm not ready to talk. We don't have an answer yet on gear. Okay. I'm frustrated with it too, guys. You guys know my. I think it's something they seriously need to address, and they seriously need to look at mods. And you know, I feel your frustration, but I have certain expectations that when someone's doing an interview like that, and you can talk about, you can go back to any interview when someone's not going to say something, not going to say shit. You know, so I mean, it's no different in the corporate world. It ain't no different in politics. It ain't no different anywhere else. Yeah, I think just to let that they're listening. I think that's important too. Just let people vent and listen, and I think that's important too, Christopher.
I mean, Crumb had a legitimate moment during the interview yesterday where he made a note of something that Gridden had said, which is basically, hey, you have a UI interface already for going with the underside squad. Can we get a UI interface for going in without a Datacron? So that it prompts us to say, hey, you're entering this battle without a Datacron. Are you sure? He's like, because there's some people that just, it's not triggering in their head to do it yet, that they go in without it, and then that totally screws up their counter. And Crumb's like, you know, actually, that's something that I am more than happy to address. He stopped, he made a note, and then they continued on. And it's things like that, you know, they do listen. Just, you know, sometimes we got to hit different nails in the head than the same one.
Yeah. The question no one asked, what is taking so long for the gear? Yeah, I don't know. That I would ask that question. Like, do we have any kind of timeline? I mean, you don't have to tell us what your decision is, but I mean, yeah, I think that'd be fair. I think that's a fair question, Jack Tino.
Yeah,
how he responds. Yeah, it's a totally fair question. Any news? Not really. We're getting ready to wrap up there, engineer. Choo choo. But yeah, good discussion today, guys. Again, a slow week and stuff. So. His train is never late, Mr. Bones. Nor is it early. It arrives precisely when it means to.
Well, on the upside, Ranger, I won my GAC by 5 banners.
Well, I lost mine by 3.
Nice. Congrats.
I was playing it while we were talking.
We did some crazy stuff last night. It actually was fun last night trying to.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The Datacrons really threw everything, and it just, Jesus Christ, I hate Datacrons.
Yeah.
Well, we had to try some off the wall shit. We really did. It was like, And it didn't. And the executor fight again. It was going well, and then just it happens. You know, what can I say? So, I mean, we took out a lot of ships, but again, we just didn't quite get over the line. The RNG guys again.
Hey, Ranger, I did want to pass something along to you.
Yes.
I don't know if you're catching Scribe's Discord announcement.
I saw it. Yeah. I responded.
But via the move that he had. From Gibraltar back to the UK, looks like his PC just got absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, that's what he put in his post.
So he is trying to crowdsource some funds to help with that, putting it back together.
You know, I got to do Ed's. You know, maybe tomorrow, Clayton. Tomorrow night, maybe we can do a little fundraising for him.
Sure.
I don't know how we do that. If you get with him if he wants to create something, because I got to remod Ed's account and we have GA Center. I got to do tomorrow night too. So
he's got his Streamlabs link that you can donate to on or offline. It's just linked to his PayPal, so it's just direct link, or you could do through his Patreon.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll do some of that. Yeah, we'll do tomorrow late afternoon and the evening time before I go to GA Center. We'll do that and get that squared away. So with that, I think we're gonna start wrapping it up. Yeah, it's past 11. Okay, I got some other stuff to do. But good discussion today. Is good questions, even though we didn't have much to really get into. But that's fine. As a tradition, some weeks there's just not much news. So I think we'll do that tomorrow. We'll try to help our Otter Boys scribbles tomorrow while I do Ed's rework. So while I'm doing Ed's remodding, which you guys, for some reason, you guys like me watching me do that, and that'll be a couple hours. We can try to raise some money for scribbles, and then I can go into GA Center. And then Monday we'll do GAC. Yeah, doing the lunch stream, and then Tuesdays will be Taco Tuesday, mini roster reviews. Hey. And then we'll get back in our normally scheduled programming. So yeah, I'm going to go do laundry, clean, and do some other stuff and chill the rest of the day. I don't know about D&D. If it happens, it happens. I'm looking at it here. I don't know if everybody's going to be able to do it today, so I don't think we're having D&D. I haven't seen yet, but it could happen. Eve Koth loves you all. Get out of here. Oh, God. Christ. All right. Epic, where can folks check out your videos and stuff there, Home Slice?
Yeah, it's just Epic Fails at YouTube, and go watch Scribe videos. They are great. I watch them at least twice a week for the what are those dumb things?
Galactic Challenges.
The Galactic Challenges. He does the greatest one. He's helped me so many times on some of those when I get stuck. And he tends to not use GLs too, which is great. So give him lots of support.
Yeah. He tries to tinker with them in any way that can be done without needing GLs, and so it's
I tinkered the same way. I just do it live on the lunch stream. I don't do videos, so I got enough on my plate just doing live streams. Okay, folks. Okay.
So go check out one or two of his videos.
Oh yeah, check out all the content creators. Just find the ones you like, and they're all great. I love them all. So. They all offer something different and unique and different perspectives, and they're all entertaining. I try to watch as many as I can when I can, but God, there's so many of them right now. It's a lot. There was a great match yesterday too. What was it? Playbook versus Tasnik. So Fatal versus the court jester. I don't know who won, but that must have been a hell of a fight. All right, hit the thumbs up. Go check out the Epic stuff, and check out all these other great content creators. They're not here today, but they do make appearances here on Jedi Academy when they can. So everyone have a great rest of your weekend. We might get D&D in. I'm not planning on it. I don't think we're doing it, but if we do, it'll be tonight at 8 Eastern, I want to say. So we'll get some D&D in, and then what else? Sunday we'll do the Ed rework, remod, and then we'll have GA Center tomorrow night as well. So I'll have a busy day tomorrow. And then Monday we'll be back for some GAC or something like that. Yeah, we'll see if we can raise some money for Princess Scribbles. Help Scribbles out. Yes, deploy the likes, Mr. Brown. Thank you for that. So everyone have a great rest of your day. If you need me for anything, hit me up in Discord. If not, enjoy the rest of your day. Love you guys. And we'll holler at you later. Peace out.